that is the DrawBomb intro theme song for the week. One of the 9 random ones that I made and no more. I'll get back into making those sometime. On a hot run.
And you were like, done forever.
You know, the Lord rested on the 7th day. I rested on the 9th. So, bada bing, bada boom. I'm better than God.
You beat the Lord. That's impressive. Congratulations.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
That world record.
It's tough, but I made it happen. Now that we've committed sacrilege, what are you up to this week?
Gosh, I just got back from Detroit today. That was very fun. Visited some friends out there. And ate a bunch of good food. Went to some places.
Food? Good food?
Time. Yeah, I ate lots of good food.
I love good food, man. Love it.
Lots of good drinks. The weather was nice-ish.
And you're gonna be gone next weekend too, right? Not to out you.
Yes.
Beforehand.
Yes,
you don't have to tell us where you're going, so they can't find you. But
I don't care if they find me. You know, I'm so used to people coming up to me and recognizing me from the DrawBomb show that
it happens a lot.
It's hard to even fight it. I'm going to a similar area, like an outskirt of Detroit, but for a different reason. I went to visit a friend this time, and I'm going for a family wedding next.
Oh, interesting. Who's getting married?
My cousin.
Hey, nice. Congratulations to them.
I'll make sure I pass that along.
Yeah, tell them,
Ian
hey,
says, congratulations.
And they'll say, who's Ian?
Then I'll go, oh, he's a guy on the internet.
And they'll say, oh, like a pedophile? And then you'll say...
I'll say, oh, I don't... God, I hope not, because it's really bad for me that I've tied my horse to that wagon.
Yeah, bad look. That would be terrible. Like,
it'll be like, you know, how I'll just have to hire the same lawyers that Subway hired to maintain their brand.
How do you, like, if you have any dark secrets, like, you should let me know right now, because I think, like, I don't have any dark secrets that I can think of. Like, I don't kill people or anything. Like, I don't have any dark secrets, but if you have any, let me know right now so I can get out from under it.
Nope, got nothing.
That's the sound of an innocent man right there, folks. You'll never prove anything.
We got some people in the chat already. Bell Rock says hi. I love the Ian emote, the Ian mote. Wow, everybody keeps coming up with better names for these things than I do. Where were you guys?
People call me eBud, so like we could call it an emote, and it's technically still it kind of serves the same purpose. Bada bing, bada
Leviathan Den says, "Draw Bizzle, what's good?" Yo, Leviathan Den, thanks for joining us. It's so all good now that you're here.
Now that you've joined us.
Belbo Rock says, definitely show him a picture of Ian before you answer that question. I'm assuming the question being, is he a pedophile?
Or your cousin? Or
I'll just be like, I don't know, you be the judge, and here's a photo. And be like,
I gotcha. I was thinking you could be like, Ian says hi, or congratulations, and then you have a photo of me, but I understand what they're saying now. They're saying for
okay. Well,
to see if I pass the pedophile look test. There is a look, I feel like.
I'll be like, as your wedding gift, I got a $5 from Ian Newton of DrawBomb to say congratulations. Wait, not $5. What's the cameo?
Cameo, yeah,
I got a cameo of Ian Newton from DrawBomb fame to say congratulations, and they'll be like, wow, thank you. What is that? And I'll be like, you haven't watched DrawBomb?
Yeah, I heard of DrawBomb, wow. Like the premiere show. Fuck Drawfee, fuck Drawslaw. Tune out of those right now. They're streaming right now, apparently.
I'll be like, okay, cool. Well, we're gonna go talk to some other people. They'll be like,
whatever.
It's a good discount gift. Save some money.
Yeah. So, anyways, pedophiles. Do they have a look, Brandon? This segment has supposed that they do.
I would say. I don't deal in absolutes, but a lot of times, yes, they do.
I feel like, yes, a lot of the times they do. And then, like, a lot of the times they don't. I don't know. I guess they come in all flavors. That sounds terrible. I don't like that. I don't like that sentence. Let's move on. Let's move away from
Yes,
the pedophilia
yes, we can be done with
assumption.
that topic.
Yeah, I'm okay with not bringing that back up.
Leviathan Den is reminding us that they're not here for the art again, like last week.
Okay.
And it hurts like last week, but you know, be that as it may.
He will
Death
not
of
be
the artist,
receiving
I don't get to
complimentary
decide
art.
how you enjoy this show.
Yeah. Good gosh gracious. Well, Brandon, aside from taking trips all over the world,
All of 2 hours away from my home and
so
back.
far, where have
That
you?
is
What have you been up to as of the last 7 days?
Wow, I was excited to actually have something. Normally I say nothing, and this time I actually had something, and you've already
did
moved past
something.
it, and I need to have more.
Well, I don't want to like delve into your too much into your. I don't want to ask like, what did you do on your?
I mean,
fun
I haven't really done
away
much,
trip?
but some of the stuff I did in Detroit, one of these bars we went to is pretty cool. It's like this old, super old mansion that they've like repurposed into a restaurant, and it's supposedly like haunted and stuff. I don't know whether I believe that or not. That remains to be seen. But it was really cool, and we're like hanging out in a mansion, drinking and stuff. That was pretty.
That's
fun.
pretty awesome.
And they like kept it all old looking, like they've tried to like maintain the look from like, I don't know, however long ago, 100 years ago, 200 years ago.
Million years ago.
I think it's like close to like 200 years old. I don't know. It's like one of
That's
the
pretty
first
wild.
places to have like Thomas Edison personally wired, like put the lighting in and stuff like that, and the electric.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's a long time.
Stole
That's
it.
like close to the beginning of the forming of America. This little country we'll call. So that's fun.
pretty
But
fun.
like, what other fun? Like, did you do anything else cool? Like, see any other cool stuff in Detroit? How
Went
was
to
Detroit?
the Detroit
Did you see
Art
8
Institute.
Mile?
No, but I mean, Eminem did open a restaurant 8 Mile now called Mom's Spaghetti. We didn't go there.
Ah, that's a shame. You should have gone there. Why didn't you? Jeez. No, but you were saying that you were saying something else too, like
We went to the
art
Detroit
museum,
Art
right?
Institute.
Yeah.
That was great. We didn't finish it, as you often don't, because it's huge, similar to the Chicago one that we went to recently.
Yeah, there's just so much to look at. There's no way to get through
And
all
so,
of it.
like, we got like through like a floor and a half out of like 3 floors, and
My
then
God.
they're like closing, and we're like, okay.
I think it also takes longer for us to get through art museums
Because we're pretentious.
because we're pretentious douchebags who
We're like,
draw.
oh, look at the brush strokes, and they're like, we close in 5 minutes.
Excuse me, when this artist painted on this canvas, do you know if they used gesso? Did they gesso this before they painted?
The person working's like, my job's to make sure you don't touch it. I don't know shit about this.
Okay, yeah. I think, do you think we take longer than, like, do you think, like, I guess people who go to art museums probably go in the first place. Like, unless you're a kid and you're on a field trip, like, if you're in an art museum, you're probably going because you want to see the stuff, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I would say that's true, but I do think, you know, some people take longer than others. I'm sure there's people take longer than me, but I would say I take longer than the average person.
Yeah,
I think some people just like to go to museums in general, and then they just kind of browse around, just something interesting to look at.
yeah, a place to go, thing
People,
to do.
you know, like it even more because they're actually, it's like a, you know, something they're personally interested in.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if there is like a statistic, like what would be the, like, people who participate in art and people who don't, like maybe a couple other like sort of hobbies and stuff thrown in there just for good measure and scientific whatever. But you know, how long do they take in a museum? Like, I'm just kind of curious how that would spread out, you know?
That's a good question. I don't have those statistics in front of me.
No, I don't know if anyone
quick.
does.
Leviathan Den says, how do I get a little crown next to my name like Bell Bell Rocket? I think you have to, I think you go into your
Amazon Prime.
chat settings, somewhere where you go, under your like subscription or something, you can pick different things because there's also like a little draw bomb.
Yeah, but the crown is specifically if you link your Amazon account to your Twitch account.
Oh, Prime Gaming. Yeah, you have to link Amazon. There's also a little bomb that like is on mine. See, and you can have that too, I think, if you set it up that way. I'm not sure.
The bomb
yeah,
is,
right.
I think, if
Amazon
you
Prime.
are a 25-month subscriber.
Oh, damn. Okay.
But that's gonna be a little ways off still. Yeah, but it's okay.
Gotta work for it.
You gotta work for that bomb, buddy. And by work for it, we mean literally work at a job so that you can send us money back, because that's what subscribing is. So the museum was fun. Detroit was cool. Did you shoot paintballs out of a moving car at like establishment signs and things like that?
No, is that something that people do in Detroit?
No, that's what they do in the movie 8 Mile. Have you not seen 8 Mile?
I haven't seen 8 Mile.
You have not watched the movie 8. I mean, that's not the craziest thing. Like there's crazy movies that I haven't seen.
I get some like Eminem oversaturation living in Michigan.
Yeah, I believe it for sure.
So I guess it's kind of one of those things. Like, even though I like Eminem, you just kind of when everybody is talking about something, it drives me away from it a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I think that's the reason.
Because you're a hipster.
I'm sure.
Because you don't want to be popular.
It's not that. I know a lot of people tell me that.
No, I'm just.
I think it's more along the lines.
I know
of,
the feeling 100%. I totally know the feeling.
It hypes it up, and then it makes it harder for me to enjoy it as like a going in without any kind of expectation.
Yeah, it's hard when people talk a lot about something. It is hard to sort of like cancel expectations in your mind going in. I think I've gotten pretty good at that, and I just tell myself like everyone's a dumbass. No one agrees with you anyways. Just watch the movie like fresh, and that usually works for me. Because I do find that I have pretty unpopular opinions on movies and stuff a lot of the time. So that works for me. So I don't know. It is hard, but it is hard to sort of
taking opinions, but
yeah, it's hard to wipe that slate sometimes, and it's definitely hard. Like I used to also, like I don't know. I used to find myself like defending movies that like people who I knew liked, but like I hadn't seen, but I'd like defend the movie anyway, just sort of using the points that like those folks use, and I'd be like, I'd realize I was doing it, and I'm like, what am I haven't seen the fucking movie. What do I know? And that's a weird spot to be in, is like when you start forming opinions about things before you've even seen them, that gets real troublesome sometimes. And that's a mindset that, you know, because I've seen it in myself before, I've definitely tried to sort of like push that out of the brain poop hole, you know, just trying to.
I've gotten a little better at that. I don't have an opinion of 8 Mile. I'm not saying that that's what you were saying about me.
Oh yeah, I know. I appreciate, but yeah, just to kind of cover the. Go ahead.
I don't know. I just haven't watched it, but I'm sure I'd like it probably.
Do you like rap music? I mean, do you like rap lyrics? Like,
I do.
When you hear like a good, when you hear like a particularly dope rhyme, do you go like, oh shit?
Yeah, I say that exactly.
Okay, yeah, then you'd like 8 Mile. It's a good movie. It's got a great conclusion, in my opinion. Like one of the better like climactic scenes of like when they like the whole movie builds up to a moment, and then like when that moment finally comes, it's a great payoff in my opinion. And like Eminem's great in it. He's a surprisingly good and like realistic, like sort of genuine seeming actor in the movie. And Brittany Murphy's in it, and you know, rest in peace. She was an incredible actress.
Yeah,
she was so good. But yeah, it's a great movie.
I will watch it one day.
Yeah, I highly recommend it.
This channel's just been me admitting that I haven't seen certain things, and then everybody berating me for it.
That's okay. I mean, that's like, this is just like, until we have like a sort of like revolving door of guests, like this show is gonna be us like kind of just talking about ourselves a lot.
It's alright. I don't take it personally.
Yeah.
You know, going back to what you were saying about like creating opinions ahead of time, and like trying to work, like saying things are good because people you like said they're good and stuff like that. I've gotten past pretty good at not doing that anymore. I used to suffer from that too, and gosh, it's just the most, and it's also part of the reason I think it goes hand in hand with like why I still haven't seen certain things that everybody thinks I should see. Because I'm just like, whatever, I'll get around to it when I get around to it. But
yeah,
it's also just like the most freeing thing.
Yeah.
Not fake liking things.
Yeah.
Or be worried about liking things that other people might judge you for, because
yeah,
now you're just
taking
free.
pride
Do whatever
in
the fuck you want. Who
yeah,
cares?
taking pride in like your opinion, like having like being unapologetically a fan of something that other people say sucks is like the best feeling in the world, honestly. It's not the best feeling in the world. Sex and other things are, but it is a great feeling, sort of like having a thing that
takes
you
away
like.
all their anybody who's trying to like yuck your yums, it takes away all their power the second that you're just like,
Oh, I love this.
they're
thing.
like, oh my god, you like that? And you're like, yeah, why?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of times too, I have found is that if you unapologetically like something and then somebody else comes at you negatively about it, and then you ask them what they don't like about it, half the time they're just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And you know what, honestly though, fair, because I've watched some movies, and we've talked about this before, but I've watched some movies with like a person who they weren't vibing with the movie, and like it was my first time seeing it, so like I didn't vibe with the movie either. And then I've watched that same movie with people who like it, and then had a completely different experience and enjoyed it. And it's like not necessarily like I was trying to mirror the opinions of the person there, but like, you know, there's a vibe when you're watching something with somebody. Yeah. And like what you give off and what they give off, it definitely like affects just the viewing experience in general.
It's true. It's true.
And I actually have something to say about 8 Mile real quick.
Okay.
And this is related to you.
Oh boy.
You know, we've talked briefly about how you used to do sketches and stuff when you were younger. And I remember when we were, I think in high school, you sent me a link to a sketch you did with, I want to say it was your brother, where you guys find something, or you want to like watch a movie, you want to watch like Indiana Jones, and he wants to watch 8 Mile. And in that sketch you're like, I don't want to watch 8 Mile, and he's like, why not? You're like, because I don't think Eminem should ever act or be in a movie or something. I just remember that. And then it's a whole thing, and then you guys say like something at the end. It's like a 20 questions game or something like that. I don't remember, but
something like that. But yeah, that happens. But I think when we did that, it was because 8 Mile was on the TV. I didn't have any particular feelings about 8 Mile then.
No,
either.
but it calls back to how you ahead of time just didn't want to see it because you know, over like I know the exact mindset you were in, or at least I know a mindset that you might have had because you were acting in a sketch. Also, it doesn't mean that was exactly you. I just find it funny that we talked about this, and I like remembered 5 seconds ago, like before I started telling that story about that sketch, and I was like, oh hey.
It's true. But yeah, but honestly, like I said, even in that moment, I wasn't like meaning any of the things I was saying. I just needed a movie, and that was on, so we used it as the movie to shit on. Yeah,
and because like the premise of the sketch for folks is that you both wanted to watch a different movie, so you had to fight over the remote, and then I think it was a guessing game, and then you both end up saying
play
like
rock paper scissors to decide.
And it's like custom rules, and then like the last one is you guys basically like do a 2-minute long sentence at the same time and like stalemate.
That's what
which was
happens.
fun stuff.
Real quick to the chat, Belbo Rocket says, what movie are we talking about? Sorry, I lost the thread. We were talking about 8 Mile mostly.
Yes.
And then just talking about having like preconceived notions or like hype ruining a movie for you. And then Leviathan Den says, hey, I subscribed for a year all last year. I'm trying. Yes, you are.
You are.
You're doing it.
Us saying get to work on it was us being very shitty on purpose, but saying
it's almost a joke because you've done more of that than anyone, I think.
Yeah, you've subscribed longer than I think.
Kyle or something.
Yeah, and it's also, again, it's us like us saying get to work is us saying pay us money. Which is very funny to be rude sometimes. But anyways, Balbo Rocket also did say, I never grew out of being a child on a field trip. I do love field trips. I kind of wish you had adult field trips. You know?
Right. Well, I think you can just take yourself on one, right?
You can, but like it's kind of nice to have like you can get like a tour guide. I guess that's the closest thing to an adult field trip.
You saying you want your job to like have a bus and be like, today instead of work, we're going to water treatment plant.
Yeah, I want to like not have to go to work for a day. Pretty good. Yeah, and like instead they're like, hey guys, so we're gonna go to a cheese factory today, learn how to make cheese. This is great. I get paid for this.
That would be pretty dope. And I suppose there are some of those, but they're usually, you know, very
business trips
on brand. Yeah, they have to do with your job.
It's another worked week essentially, but it's like longer term because but you get to like kind of wrap some travel into it. I assume.
Exactly.
It sounds fun.
Bella Rocket was saying, in line with the whole field trip thing, she says she likes to go to art museums to giggle at all the phallic imagery. Yeah, that's still fun. That's the best part.
I remember one
you
time
can be looking at like a sculpture from like 2,000 years ago, and the dicks are still funny.
Yep, I remember this one time. Me, Austin, aka Zone Dog, running the show, and Crazy Kyle, were all at the New York Art Museum on a field trip in high school. Or it might have been middle school. I was probably middle school. But we were there. We were looking at a painting, and there's like it's very abstract, but like there's a skull. It's like it's like a triptych almost, but it's like vertical. So there's like 3 of the same painting, but different color schemes, kind of like an Andy Warhol thing. But it's like very splotchy colors. And then there's a skull up in the one corner. And then there's like a weird like 2 circles connected at the center with like little lines pointing out like outwards from the center, like somewhere in the image as well, like just kind of up in the top of the picture, so that you can only see the 2 circles connected at the center with short straight lines pointed out from the center. And we're looking at that and we're like, that looks like a pair of balls and a skull. So like, is it saying skull fucking? And then like a security guard who was like 2 or 3 feet, like just kind of like over at the wall, just kind of making sure we weren't touching the paintings. She just goes, "It's exactly what you think it is." And so we're like, all right. Thank you, security guard.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, good time.
There was this really cool, because Detroit's like still somewhat, but was a big hub for the auto industry, like when that started.
Yeah, that was like why Detroit was built.
Henry Ford's from there and all that shit, and that was like, you know, at the time it was like one of the most it was like lucrative places in the country.
It was one of the best places to live until the auto industry either moved out, got outsourced, died out there, and then that place fell to shit, and that's why we have the Detroit that we know of today.
It's coming back though. It's getting nicer all the time, which is great because it's a cool town. It's got really good culture and like good history, and like the music and art scene there is really good. So it's good to see it coming back. But what I was gonna say was, so they had this really cool auto exhibit at the museum, the art museum, and it's there for like a couple more weeks. But we were in there looking at some stuff, and they have all these really cool cars and interesting things to look at. And I was talking to the security guard there a little bit, and he was just like, the things he kept saying were like, just made it clear that he just like really loved this exhibit. And he's like, yeah, it ends in 2 weeks. I'm like, oh, I'm glad we made it in. He's like, God, I really hope these 2 weeks don't speed by, because I'm gonna miss these cars when they're gone. I'm like, oh yeah, I bet. And he's just like, you know, it got pushed back a little bit. I'm really hoping it gets pushed back again. And he just kept sounding so sad. I'm like, it's not like you get to drive them or anything. What are you so?
He just likes to look. Maybe he's like one of those. Cool.
No, God. Van Pleb in the chat. And Maddie F.
Thank you, Van Pleb and Maddie F.
Maddie F says, "Oh man, it's the DrawBomb guys from DrawBomb.draw keyword bomb." Exactly.
That's right. You got it.
In the flesh.
Here and in person, live, large and in charge. Like Marge.
They'll let anybody in here because Maddie F does have 2 kids, so he's allowed to. He's unlocked that new tier of common dad jokes.
You can make dad jokes now. He can do it.
If you run into somebody you know at a restaurant, you know, you're at the local Applebee's and you see somebody across, you go up to him and you say, "Oh, let anybody in here," and you both.
It's a great one.
You both have a great laugh.
Oh, Jerry, you scamp!
When you have your 3rd kid, you'll unlock the Dad, I'm hungry, and then you go,
hi hungry,
hi
I'm dad.
hungry, I'm dad. But until then, you cannot use that.
Yeah, no, you have to wait a little, or your kid has to be old enough to say, I'm the hungry dad. Neither of your kids are, I think, old enough to say that yet.
I think his first kid probably says it often.
Is his first kid able? I don't know how soon kids can talk. I don't know when it is too old for a kid to.
She's talking.
I actually had a really weird experience earlier today. I thought about just like the length of the pandemic and like, you know, when I can visit Philly, because I'd like to make a trip to Philly soonish and just say hi to some friends. But I thought about like the one friend who I like met up with them right before I moved away from Philly. And I was like, oh man, like when I saw their kid was like playing Roblox and was like young, like pretty, like I want to say 4 years old, something like that.
And now they're graduating high school.
But like I'm gonna see them and they're gonna be 6, and they're like, that's like when they actually start to like retain memories and shit. And I'm just thinking,
long before
like,
6, I would say.
Is it long before 6? I don't remember anything before 6. Yeah. I don't think.
Well, I think
I read somewhere that like
3 and 4.
Okay,
when
maybe
they
it's
start to creep in.
I guess so, yeah.
I don't know.
I do remember Barney
I'm not
and
an
Blue's
expert on
Clues,
kids
I
by
guess.
any means.
I don't know. No, I guess I do have memories of like very, very like puffs of memories, if even, like, you know, like the dust sort of a memory, but of like being in like kindergarten and shit like that. I remember playing Pac-Man in kindergarten, which I guess I was like 2 or 3. If I think about it pretty hard enough, I can remember some things pretty young. But anyways, that kid's gonna be much older now, so like when I see those people again, I'm gonna have to like deal with the fact that like, oh shit, this like kid is now
I live
older.
like 2 hours away from a lot of my family, and so like, you know, certain times in my life, especially when I was still in college, I wouldn't see my nieces and nephews for months at a time, or maybe even like a year. And now, I mean, they're a bit older now, but now the pandemic hasn't helped that either. But it would be jarring because like you'd see them and they'd be like, you know, crawling around on the ground. And the next time you see them, they're like sprinting past you, and the next time you see them, they're like, "Hi, Uncle Brandon," and I'm like, "What the fuck? You could talk?"
I have some cousins. I think I talked about this on the show previously, but whatever. We rehash everything. Who cares? No one listens to every episode. But I remember having I had some cousins who I hadn't seen for like years and years and years and years, and then finally I saw them again like right before the pandemic. Like we had a family Christmas in Iowa, and so I got to like see them again, and they were about to go to college, and like the last time I'd seen them, they were like 8. So it was a huge jump, and I'm like, it's weird because I can still see their 8-year-old face shape, just like now it's stretched to a college student's body, and I'm like, oh boy. And now like they're talking about like real shit, and I'm like, oh my god, I remember like we used to talk about goblins, I don't know. And it's weird, and it's like
so how about them goblins? And they're like, goblins are for babies, and you're like, fuck you.
I like goblins.
I'm a man who likes goblins.
I'm a man.
You can't scream me.
I'm an adult.
I'm a man. Adult man. Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird jarring thing. And I also, not having kids, I also have a hard time knowing what ages they're able to do things. And also, if I see a kid in between like 5 and 13, I have no idea what age they are. It's like,
oh yeah.
It's like I can tell a kid's older than another one, but I have no idea like what you're looking like, what you're able to do at what age. I don't know.
Yeah, it's yeah, I get pretty hazy like on sort of all of that range. Like I'm just like, what do kids look like from blank to blank? I don't know, because I don't know, like since I don't own any kids. Own sounds weird. Since I don't own a child, but since I don't have any kids, I mean, like,
is that like owning an NFT?
Yes, exactly. I paid $800 for a bored child NFT. But no, like, I don't have any kids, so like I have no desire whatsoever to like hang out with children, like at all. Like I don't, like, if I never saw a child again, like unless I had a kid, like I would be fine, because I don't.
You might feel different about family.
No, the family's fine. Like, again, seeing my cousins, it was cool. Or like my friend's kid. Like my friend's kid
kids,
is cool too, because
I
like
kind of like family.
I consider them they're very important people to me. They have a kid, and I think that kid is like really nice from what I've seen. But like I want that kid to grow up happy because I want my friends to be happy, and the care for the kid is wrapped up into the care for the friends, and I'm sure the care for the kid will eventually sort of be like, I actually care about the kid because they're a person now, not like my friend's child or something along those lines. But either way, like that stuff sort of separated. Like I don't like, since I don't have any kids, like I have no desire like to be around children, or like I don't. So like I'm bored around kids. I don't know. I forget what the exact point I originally started going down this tangent was, but I don't know. I'm bored by kids.
I love kids. I'm a big fan, especially, you know, if I can send them home at a certain point. But
yeah,
no,
they're not mine, so that helps.
I like all my family get-togethers. I'm like running around with the kids, and you know, they're more interesting.
To be fair, I can
talk to them about Minecraft. When I try to do that with my uncles and my mom, they don't understand. I'm like,
that is fair.
I'm like, Mom, we beat the Ender Dragon, and she's like, what?
That is fair. I remember like close before everything's just before pandemic now, or after pandemic, but before pandemic, I was at like a family like get-together thing. And like I had the choice of talking to a bunch of like people who were like 65-year-olds about like banking and shit, which I did for like 20 minutes because I worked in a bank. But then like there was a kid who's like, anyone want to play frisbee? And I was like, fuck yes, I want to play frisbee. And I went and I was also very drunk. So at one point the kid threw the frisbee at a tree, and I made the kid apologize to the tree, which was very funny to me, but I was drunk.
It's like that. I do the same shit.
I'm like, say sorry to the tree. And the kid's like, sorry, tree. He's like looking at me like I'm a weirdo, because I'm making him apologize to a tree. And I know it's weird. I'm just fucked up and drunk, so I think it's hilarious. But also, I'm teaching the kid environmentalism, okay?
Well, you're helping them learn.
I'm teaching them an important lesson.
Couple things. Belba Rocket says, kids are cool. I have lots in common with them. Yeah, I agree, actually.
I'm good with kids. I'm great. Like, if kids wants to play catch with me, I'll do that thing where a kid throws a ball at you and you go, oh, you threw it so hard. Wow, you're strong. And you throw it back and you're like, I can't throw it back as hard as, you know. I'm great with kids. I'm just, you know, not rushing to be hanging out with
Maddie F says, next time you're in the area, come over for game night, baby. I will.
Hey.
I wasn't back home this weekend, but, you know, I'll be there at some point. He says, no funging my kids. Deal.
What?
They're not fungible.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't like that.
They're non-fungible. These kids are not
non-fungible children.
And then NFCs.
NFCs.
Maddie F says, no Brandon's mom slander in the chat. I wasn't slandering her. It's probably a good thing that she's not super familiar with Minecraft. She's, you know, I would be more concerned if she was. I'd be like, Mom, are you okay?
Wouldn't it be weird? Would it be a weird
Minecraft
situation? Because I was watching one of those, like, I was watching through like the Joel Haver playlist a while ago. I still need to get back into doing that again, but even Joel's not going to watch the whole playlist. He came out with a statement saying, like, I can't. It's just so much.
I don't blame him.
I don't blame him at all. No, it's totally fine.
And we're high enough in the list that we'll at least get seen.
Yeah, I hope so.
I suspect.
But I watched the one like video as I was like kind of washing through, and it's like a 17-year-old kid or an 18-year-old kid before he goes off to college, and he's like on a Tinder date with a girl. They just like sort of met, and they're like, we're gonna shoot a 3-hour video. You cool with that? And she's like, yeah. So they just hang out, and it's like a fun 3-hour video of them, or it's like a 50-minute video that they shot over the 3 hours. But it's cool. But then like they're talking about tattoos, and the kid mentions how his dad has a Dark Souls tattoo on his, like a huge Dark Souls tattoo on his forearm. And I'm just like, my dad doesn't even like know what Dark Souls is. Like that just blows my mind that like there's gonna be kids growing up with like nerdy ass dads who are just like, right. Fuck yeah, dude. Like,
I mean, my dad and my stepdad too. Like when I was younger, I remember like my dad would play a lot of Nintendo.
Yeah.
A little bit of PlayStation, and my stepdad, I remember like I remember him like playing like Half-Life and stuff like that. But they fall out of it, I think, because
they fall out of it. Yeah.
It's just not high on the hobby list. I think it's just something.
Yeah, I'm sure they would like.
Some people stick with it. Some people just continue to love it. You know.
My dad used to play like video, like I'd share my video games with him, and like he was the original owner of the Sega Genesis, which is why I got into video games in the first place, and you know, other things like they had an NES back at the grandparents' house that they would play, etc., etc., etc. But yeah, he fell out of it for sure. But I mean, he plays with drones and photography now, so I think he just found those more fulfilling. And drums. But yeah, I mean, that's all for it. But it's like if I were to try and talk about like anything modern games nowadays, like my dad, it would just, he knows Sega Genesis, Nintendo 64, maybe a bit of PS2, right. But like I don't know, it'd be weird. Like if my dad, like I'm trying to think about like all those kids who have like a rebellious phase, you know, like. Right. If in your rebellious phase, do you just like decide that you don't like Dark Souls because your dad is a fan? He does like, hey son, boy, I made you a cake with the great knight Artorias on it, and the kid's like, God, Dad, I don't even like Dark Souls anymore.
Dark Souls is for babies.
Jesus, can't you see I'm an Animal Crossing fan now?
No son of mine likes Animal Crossing.
I don't even like video games anymore. I like sports. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Where did I go wrong? Where did I go wrong?
My son's a jock.
Drums.
Drums.
Speaking of drums, me and Maddie F got tickets to see Comedy Bang Bang when they are in Michigan.
That's awesome. When is that?
Fun. That is in August. Oh, it's the day before my birthday. It's in August.
Ah, sick. It's a great birthday present.
Yeah. I bought it for myself.
Well, worth it. But that's cool that you're bringing Maddie F, because I know Maddie F loves that show too. So it's a nice.
We've seen them before, and it was great.
That's awesome. I would love to see them sometime. Hint, hint. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, come out here. I'll buy your ticket if you fly out here.
Fuck. I mean, August. I don't have any travel plans for August aside from whenever that bachelor party conversation discussion goes someplace. But I mean, that would be fucking fun. It'd be your birthday. I could buy you a birthday present, and we'd all have an excuse to get really drunk.
You'll forget it's my birthday.
I won't this time. I have it in my phone.
I'm
repeating that mistake again.
The first time we hung out in person, it was one of the days was on my birthday, and no one remembered, which is not their fault. I mean, there's no reason they should know or be on the button.
I had been like
anyway.
prepping myself for like the two, like you had been mentioning it was your birthday coming up, and like for the 2 days ahead of time, I would wake up and they'd be like, Brandon's birthday is on Thursday. And then on Thursday, I just didn't fucking think it.
It's all right. I mean, we did stuff. We like ate at like 4 restaurants, and we went to a bunch of bars, and we
went to the zoo.
Went to like was it the zoo or the museum?
Yeah, we went to the zoo. We went to the zoo and we tried to go to. That was when we did those 2 long ass walks where we tried to go to like 2 restaurants, and they both ended up not being open.
Gotcha. So yeah, no. So it was a perfectly fine birthday. I just thought it was funny that it didn't get. And then like the moment it hit like 12:01 of the next day, I told them, and they were all mad at me.
We weren't mad. I just remember, I don't know if you saw my exact face when you told us, but I'm gonna zoom in on myself. This is a
great birthday gift for me.
This is my recreation of my face when Brandon let us know that it was his birthday the day before. So.
Yes, I recall now. Came flooding back.
I don't know if that was
my
the
birthday
exact face.
Is August 28th. Bebo Rocket was wondering. So, yeah. Send me lots of gifts, everyone.
Your wedding anniversary is about to be the day after mine for the rest of your life. Oh, snap. When's your wedding again?
December 3rd.
3rd, okay. My mom keeps asking me, she's like, when's the wedding? I'm like, this is December, I don't know. So far away.
It's coming in hot.
Coming in hot. It's doing that thing where like as things approach, they approach faster, you know?
Yes.
Which I'm experiencing a lot of that in Star Citizen. As I fly my ship around. Like,
well, you see, time doesn't exist in outer space, so
No, it doesn't. Right? No. Time does not. Time is a flat circle, and the Earth is flat, so time is only on Earth.
Maddie F says, yeah, I don't know when it is. Fuck it, even though he's the one marrying us.
That's funny as hell. I also love that he's gonna officiate. That's great.
I know, it's awesome, isn't it?
That's gonna be so great.
He says he has a whole 10-minute monologue on the concept of time for the wedding. I can't wait to hear it.
That's gonna be fantastic.
To death do us part, eh? Well, what is death even anyway? You know.
I am super excited for your wedding. I may cry. I cried at the last friend's wedding I was at. I cried at both of the last friends' weddings I was at. Not like
well, now
heavy
that I
cry.
know that you've done that, if you don't cry, I'm gonna feel super insulted.
Well, to be fair, I only cried on the one when the song "And I Will Always Love You" by Mariah Carey came on. That song just gets to me. I don't know why. I was
Whitney
also
Houston.
Or was it Whitney Houston? Did I say Mariah
Houston.
Carey? It's definitely not Mariah Carey. I know that.
No, she does the Christmas one.
Then she does the Christmas one. I don't know why. But yeah, I know it's.
All I Want for Christmas Is You. That's probably what you were thinking of.
I was thinking of that. Because that song also makes me cry. No.
It does make me cry too.
No, but I was also so shit-faced. I didn't know that like, you know the beer Blithering Idiot?
I don't think
by
so.
Weyerbacher.
Don't know it.
It's got a 12% ABV. It's a wheat beer.
Whoops.
The wheat barley ale, I believe, is actually what it is. Or it might be, it's like 11 at least. It's a very high ABV. But I had 3, and I'd also had a bunch of weed. I'd smoked a bunch of weed with the groom. And also, I had done a few shots as well, because you can't just do a beer. You have to have shots, too. So, I was fucked up.
I like to do a beer.
I was wearing somebody else's pants suspenders. I had my tie in my head, and I was crying. I will always love you.
That sounds fun. Sounds like
yeah,
a great time.
I was quite the wedding guest.
Maddie F says, I'm gonna dance with Ian. You better.
Hell yeah.
You guys get your own dance.
Fuck yeah, dude. Hey, okay. Maddie F, do you know the music video Start the Commotion by the High Tops? I think is the name of it. Or no, it's MC. No, it's not MC. Hold on. Start the Commotion.
Yeah, do you know that one?
The music video is it's on YouTube if you don't know it. But Start the Commotion by the Wise Guys. Check out that music video. That's what we're gonna do.
Everybody's fighting to dance with Ian. Belba Rocket says they're gonna dance with you too.
Oh boy. I'm gonna be a dancer on lease.
Oh, Mr. Populovi.
For me, Mr. gets to dance with everybody.
Oh yeah, well I'm gonna dance with my mom. So.
Oh. That's when I'm gonna cry. Ooh.
Boy, what a swell time it shall be.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
It's gonna be very fun.
So, I feel like we should talk about Star Citizen a little bit, right?
Yeah, I would like to hear some of your opinions on this. Maddie F says, I'm going to cut in on the mother dance power move. That is a power move.
That is a hell of a power move right there.
You want to hear a real power move? You cut in on Morgan and her dad's dance.
Ooh.
With her dad.
he wants you. What's a real power move is putting on Power Man 5000 and then using that as the you doing Worlds Collide as you guys do the first dance, because like your worlds are colliding.
What it's like when worlds collide?
This is what it's like when worlds collide. Brandon's world collided in the evergreen words of Power Man 5000. Brandon's world collided with Morgan's world. This is what it's like. I'm the one who's gonna take your nose for. No, I'm just trying to sing the song, but I don't know any of the lyrics actually.
I don't know either.
But is it really? What is it out here? What is a god, but it's a real star? That is some part of the song.
Not to change the subject, but Belba Rocket is asking about Star Citizen. She says, yeah, Star Citizen, I keep hoping you guys are watching a movie late at night and you're just playing a game I don't know what it is. I'm so bored and lonely. So Star Citizen is taking its toll on everyone.
Star Citizen takes its toll on us all. But Brandon, you're the one who's played it you're the one who's played it the least. I would love to hear your thoughts before I rant and rave.
Okay. Sure.
Because you were busy in Detroit.
I think the concept is very cool and the game would be very fun, except it's broken and it doesn't work. And it's been in development for, I think, since the 1950s or something. So there's no excuse for it not to be done. And you could argue that it's a small team and all that, and what they've accomplished is pretty great considering, and I'll give you that, but their priorities are wrong. Here's this incomplete game that barely runs, yet they have stupid features like face tracking. You can turn on your webcam and your guy will like contort his face like a crazy person to match your face in a not a very effective way, but I'm sure it took a lot of effort to put that, add that to the game. So like, don't worry about the face tracking stuff. Make the game work first, and then we'll get to the face tracking stuff. That's my opinion. Not sold. It's a very there's like a lot of bullshit you got to go through to like accomplish the fun stuff, or to get to the fun stuff. And while I would say if the game worked, I would enjoy the bullshit. Like I enjoy in Sea of Thieves how you have to load up your ship and you have to raise the anchor and you have to leave your port and sail to the place, and it takes some time. I like all that, but when it becomes way less fun when you do all the stuff Star Citizen requires, like getting out of bed and putting on your spacesuit and going down to the ship leasing thing and putting it to the hangar and then getting on the elevator and then riding the train over and then getting in your ship and then asking to open the ship bay doors, and then you leave the ship bay and then you fly out and you make sure your gas is full, and then all of a sudden you hit an invisible wall and your ship blows up and you have to go back to your bed and start over. And that's when I'm like, okay, this makes me mad. So that's my opinion. I like the concept. If it worked, I'd be playing a lot of it, but it's very frustrating for me right now.
Yeah, it's pretty much my assessment too. I'm having a lot of fun with it still, but the fun is in spite of the game. And I'm having a lot of I'm having a lot of fun doing a lot of the immersiveness. I have my walk speed, you can manually set your walk speed in the game, and I have my walk speed set to what my walking, my leisurely walking pace would be.
What number is that in
I don't
real
know.
life?
3.
6? 3. Okay.
I amble. I don't walk. I amble. So, I have there is fun to be had in the game, but also so from what I understand, they focused mostly on the dogfighting, which works the best of all of the gameplay mechanics in the game, I will say. When you're in the ship and you're flying it, when you're fighting another ship, I haven't really experienced a lot of issues. It all works pretty well, the dogfighting, and except for the fact that when you first start dogfighting in the game, you're fighting ships that use the same tactic. I complained about this to Austin. He said they get better later, but when you first start dogfighting in the game, you come across ships that use the same tactic for every fight, and it's the most annoying bullshit in the world. It's called jousting, apparently. But what it is I'm trying to shoot this ship, and it's got shields, and the shields regenerate over time. But I'm shooting this ship, and the ship is flying in a straight line, point A to B, back and forth, and then kind of doing a strafing run, shooting me with its lasers as it does these sort of back and forth things. But that's about all the ship does, is it does this back and forth thing. again called jousting, which is very frustrating because it tends to, like, point A and B tend to be outside the range of your ammo, like your weapons, and then like you get about 3 seconds of time to shoot at the ship, you know, when it's in your range, and then, you know, in that time hopefully you've gotten enough shots on it so that its shields haven't started regenerating yet. It can just really prolong a fight and just make it not very fun to do. But the dogfighting works, and it's like it's supposed to be doing that, I guess. And like I guess if you do more dogfights in the game, you get further. And I should mention, by the way, when I say dogfights, I mean spaceships. But anyways,
I thought maybe you just fought dogs in space.
That'd be so cool. Michael Vick in the space game. So that's I'm interested in seeing like what the better dogfights are like. We did a couple of quote-unquote bunker missions, which are basically where you do the first-person shooter against like AI opponents. And Austin and Kyle both said that feature was working for them. Kyle actually said he was doing it a decent amount now because he played it and he was having fun with the fact that like it supposedly worked. But when I did it with them, that was not the case for me, at least. I mean, it functioned as in I could walk into a place and then shoot a few NPCs. They would die, and then I would get the reward, the quest reward for it. But the NPCs did not shoot. They did not
get
move.
Out of line to you.
They floated. I would shoot them, and then they would like ragdoll and then drop their stuff, and then they would unragdoll and undrop their stuff and actually be alive, and then I would have to shoot them again, and then kind of wait and see if this ragdoll was for real. So just really annoying shit that like for me was not functional, but like seems cool in practice, especially if they were to, like, every bunker is the same right now. It's like a room and there's 10 guys and you shoot them and try not to shoot the security guards, and then you're done, and then you loot the place. So like more variety would be cool also. Obviously, like there's a lot that they're working on the game, but like you said, like they built the wrong parts first. They made a game that's not working. And you know, we play with Austin Zone Dog, and if he's in the chat, he is seething with anger right now. And I'm probably gonna go play it with him after we're done. But he is the game's biggest defender, because, and it's no offense to him, I just think he really wants the game to work out conceptually, because it is a game concept that I think a lot of people have been wanting since the X series, you know, like, which came out in like '99. It's a game genre that like people have been tackling and like trying to like make happen for a very long time, and like I think No Man's Sky is probably the closest game that's achieved it. But I think like the parts about No Man's Sky, like the planet hopping and all that stuff, get really bogged down in the inventory management, and the planets themselves don't particularly feel substantial. Because like, so like in Star Citizen, like every planet you land on, like, or for the most part, like the planets feel more planet-like, and that will be improved, I guess, as they add more biomes and stuff to the individual planets. But like when I land on the planet, I like did a mission and I kept fucking dying and fucking it up, and glitches would ruin it. So I did the same mission like 4 times in a row, and they would take me to the same places, but every time I'd land on that same planet, it felt like, because like the planet was in a different alignment with like its suns and the other planets and like the time of day, like landing in the same spots of the planet still felt like 4 different planets, or like 4 different days. Like it felt varied enough where I was like, oh, this is impressive. Like the exploring the space is being done in a way where it feels substantial, which Star Citizen was not accomplishing for me. But the shame that getting bogged down by all of these like technical issues that like it's
in 50 years it'll be completed and you can all enjoy it.
Yeah,
and
it's a lot,
because the idea seems really fun.
Yeah, and I will say it's a lot more functional than it was the last year when we tried the free week. Okay. I'm experiencing that. I'm experiencing a lot more functionality.
It shows they're making progress.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe they finally like tackled the main shit. Maybe they're finally on to sort of like fine-tuning everything, because there's a lot there now, and a lot of what's there is functional most of the time.
That's good.
But then there's a lot there that's just completely, yeah. But there's a lot there that's completely broken and unfunctional, or stupid bugs that happen all the time, and it's just again, for a game that's been in development for so long, it's like, dog, like, I understand that you're trying to tackle a huge project, and like it's ambitious, and you're increasing the scope, which is one of Austin's big defenses, is like, but like, think about this, they didn't plan on doing this when they first started, and it's like, okay, but the base game is still broken.
Yeah, add the bonus stuff after you got a working game.
Expand the scope when the game works. I don't know. I feel like that's like, you don't
add more stuff to a broken game.
Yeah, like if Star Citizen was an entirely functional game, but then they just kept adding all this stuff, like the way that Star Citizen is going about handling its various gameplay aspects, it could honestly be like a cutting edge game, but it's just so broken that all of its cutting edge is lost on the fact that it's like it's built on a non-functional product.
Yeah, the basics don't work, so you can't enjoy any of it until until it's got good bones.
Yeah, but there have been some fun experiences in the game. Austin and I were trying to land on a planet for like a bunch, and I kept fucking it up because I was still kind of getting the ropes of the game. And then I landed in the planet, got out of my spaceship, and then I fell 100 feet because it turns out I'd landed in the hangar upside down.
That's funny.
That's like funny. That. The most recent.
Maybe I'll play with you guys tonight and give it one more chance.
Yeah, please do. I mean, I'm gonna keep playing it throughout the course of the. I'm gonna keep on playing it throughout the course of the free week. I am having fun. It's, you know, it's just I'm not gonna, like, I was talking to Austin, like, hey, if this is fun, if I have a good enough time, I'll consider dropping like $40 for a basic ship, which, you know, gives you citizenship and Star Citizen. Right. But I do think I'm gonna hold off a little while longer before I make that purchase. Number one, because I just don't have any fucking money. But number two, because you know, I really want that game. Like, I did a quest, and I had completed all of the elements that the quest was acting, and it was an illegal. I was doing some smuggly stuff in the game. I was doing illegal in the game stuff. I was smuggling drugs in the game, apparently.
No.
And so like the final like drop off was in the one like place we were all at, but I went there, but like I was landing in a space station and I had like contraband on my character, so I was like, oh, I'll just put it in like my arm pocket on my armor, and bada bing bada boom, I'm good. But did that, but that made the game forget that it was a quest item. And so when I put the item in the spot, they wanted me to do the drop-off. It's like a 15-20 minute quest, too. It takes a while. You go to 3 different planets and do 3 different drop-offs. Right. And so then I've completed the final thing, and then the game had just completely forgotten that it was a quest item. So it just didn't.
That's a lot of what's killing it for me. Like, even if the most fun stuff is fun, I hate when my time feels wasted, especially when by like bugs. That makes me like, even if it's a game I love, I'll just turn it off and be like, done with that for the day.
Yeah, I get
it frustrates me to no end.
I get irrationally angry, like, not at video games, like at video games I like to say I'm pretty good at not getting like all up in my feelings at a video game. Like if I'm like not doing well, I'm like, today's not my day.
No. Yeah.
If it's like people on the server who are being shitty, and like on League of Legends, I had a hard time with, because like people were just such fucking assholes on that game that it made me want to play it less. Like the people I was playing with, like when I was playing with the animator folks, that was great because like they are all understanding, we're all constructive, you know. But like randos on the internet are just fucking dicks. But like that'll get me tilted. But like otherwise, you know, if I'm fucking up in a game, I'll just take a break and I'll say today's not my day. Like I'm just gonna come back to it later.
Same.
My hands are cramping up or whatever, you know. But if it's a bug, if I'm playing a game and like I'm repeatedly being hampered by just like the game is not working, I get real mad
Yeah,
get
same.
frustrated.
I know you could argue that all games are kind of a waste of time. I don't feel that way necessarily, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
you know, you're not really getting anything out of it besides.
I feel
like,
that way
entertainment
50%. I feel
and joy,
50% that way.
But you know, I'm choosing to spend my time this way, so when it doesn't work, it does feel like a time waste to me.
Yeah. 100%.
So yeah, so I hate that. And there's so many good games that it's like I'm not going to spend my time on one that doesn't work yet.
Yeah.
Something else until this is fixed.
It's very funny that the free week started for Star Citizen this week because I had just installed Outer Worlds and started playing because my graphics card can actually handle it now with the new graphics card Austin got me.
I also thought I think the game's pretty optimized too, so that's good.
It is, but like when it first came out, I tried playing it on my then computer, the one that exploded eventually. It just could not handle it. Gotcha. I don't know. It was I was finally starting to hit the limits of what that old baby could handle.
That'll happen. That'll happen.
It was top of the line when I first got it, but you know, it ages quick. But now graphics cards are actually getting more available because of crypto crashing and all that stuff. And there's actually a couple other reasons, I believe, other than crypto crashing is actually a large part of it. But I read something that there was another reason why graphics cards were getting less bought by crypto people, and it was like some kind of like funny, ironic thing, but I don't remember exactly. I wish I had saved that. But yeah, there's a couple, like crypto is a big reason, but like I don't know. Anyways, point is, graphics cards going to start coming back in vogue or being available again.
Great news.
I look forward to that. Not that I'm particularly in the market for one anymore.
But it's nice to be able to buy one if you want one.
Yeah, exactly. Like for instance,
are in the market.
Austin, he works in VFX, but like when he was working on a project, his graphics card blew up essentially, and he had to like just pay the huge amount of money for a new one because he's like, I got to do the project. Like it's my work. So,
right.
Business expense, but still.
Are you done with this drawing?
I'm just gonna finish this one thruster.
Go ahead.
Right here.
No rush.
And then I am all
check before
set.
X'd it out.
I'm all good.
Cool.
Do you like the art style of No Man's Sky?
Mostly no. Certain things look
I feel
cool,
the same way.
and then some things are just like in some weird like procedural ugly state.
Yeah.
I don't know. I started playing it in VR a little bit with my brother, and that was pretty fun. I get very bored of the base game and I don't really play much of it, but that seemed pretty fun. It seemed more interesting to like hop in your ship and fly to another planet, hop out and like your feet are on the ground there walking around, and then you know like one of those giant like dune worms popped out and was like flying over our heads, and it just was cool. Like it kind of felt, you know, like the game's supposed to feel, I think.
Yeah, that would make it feel much more substantial. Like, because like we were talking about it being insubstantial, and also I don't like the art style of Star Citizen either.
Right.
I don't know. Like the procedural stuff, I think actually looks better than the stuff that was handcrafted. Like the alien species that you like converse with and stuff. I think they all look like shit. I don't know.
A lot of them are pretty ugly. I think there's some interesting ones. Some of the, like the mechanical ones look kind of
cool. The mechanical ones are cool, but even them, I don't like too many of the variations in their designs. But they are more interesting, I think, than the little gremlin dudes and like the weird ass half whale, half hammerhead shark dudes. But yeah, I mean the procedural stuff, and like that game's also a game that's constantly getting updated, much more stable. But like, you know, so because they added an update where like the procedurally generated creatures now have fur, which seems minor, but like, you know, that's gonna make a big change, I think, for that game, for like what you're gonna find. And they've like updated the lighting and stuff, so now the graphics are like even more improved since the last time I played. But yeah, I don't know, like landing on a planet felt very unsubstantial. Like I would land on a planet, you know, do a thing, have a problem with my image. Like also 100% of my game was like, I have too much carbon in my backpack and I can't do anything now. What do I do? Which is dumb. That game should have been more about the exploring than the inventory management, which it is 95% of the time. But anyways, where Where's my pen? There it is. But the randomly generated creatures, I thought all just ended up looking better, in my opinion, than any of like the stuff you'd find on the space station. I think
that's true.
I think even though Star Citizen is more broken, I like the way it's handling the space better.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you.
Because like you'll land on a planet and like it'll take you 20 minutes to like land on the planet, which is boring, but also that like makes that planet, like you landed on that planet and you're like, fuck, here we are. Now it just feels like more of a thing, whereas in No Man's Sky. Yeah, in No Man's Sky you like, oh, there's a planet. Okay, I have seen this one like viewpoint of the planet. I have seen the whole planet now. And then you get up and you go do the same thing again.
That's very true. Planet. And like the same things are on every planet, relatively speaking. Yes, there's different stuff, but it's kind of the same, different.
Yeah.
Like different versions of the same thing.
So, you know, and so like you play No Man's Sky for like 5 hours. You've kind of seen most of what you're gonna see in the game.
Yeah, in my experience, that's true. Although I haven't played a ton.
Yeah. You know, there's a quest line in it now, so that's cool. But I don't know. The game just, it was fun, but it never really. I don't know. It just felt like hollow compared to what you're hoping for out of a space exploration. And those kind of games are like, it's a hard genre to make because you're literally making everything ever. Like you're literally, like Star Citizen is trying to like calculate the entire the universe essentially, and that's impressive. And like that they've done as much as they have is impressive. But it doesn't mean it's a doesn't mean it's a worthwhile purchase.
It's hard to flesh out an entire universe.
Yeah.
It's hard to flesh out a map like in a video game, let alone make it
absolutely
fun to play, let alone an entire universe. So yeah,
it's hard to make a game. It's hard to make a thing move from point A to point B and not have like a bajillion things explode or fuck up or something like that.
It's a good point. You make a good point.
But I don't know.
I don't know how to make games, but I do talk shit about a lot of them.
Yeah. I don't make games, but I have a lot of opinions on how they should operate.
Yeah. That's fair.
To be fair though, I have been delving a little bit into Unreal 5 and like blueprints and things like that.
Do anything with that? I'm excited to see.
I'd like to. Flying Lotus is fucking around with Unreal 5 apparently, according to their Instagram. It's something we haven't talked about on this show a whole lot is like music. Like we talk about, we watch movies, games, stuff like that, but we don't do music a whole lot.
That's true.
But I don't keep up with music too much, but I have listened to a decent amount of the new Kendrick album.
I'm bad about keeping up with what's new. I get to stuff way after it's been out a while.
Same, yeah.
Usually.
I'm still organizing my iTunes playlist, but I'm actually like, I made really good progress on organizing my iTunes playlist now. Like most of the way there, I think. I got a lot of time to go left on it, but
actually having the files.
Yeah.
And just went Spotify route now.
Yeah, I mean, having Spotify is nice though. Like it's nice having all of the music that like basically ever existed.
My go-to location for all things Joe Rogan related. So finally, there's a place I can go. Finally.
But yeah, the new Kendrick's good. He just always does good stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. I need like to be like for us to talk about music, or for me to actually contribute anything. It almost has to be like a book club where you tell me to listen to something and talk about it.
Well, I mean, I'm not great either. I kept up with the new Kendrick because Kendrick's kind of a big deal.
Right.
Kind of.
He's an artist you follow a little bit more.
The artists I follow. My Spotify is always telling me when like artists I give a shit about are coming out with new music. So like, I go through waves. Like I go through waves of keeping up with stuff. Like sometimes I'm keeping up with podcasts. Sometimes it's TV shows, sometimes it's movies, sometimes not keeping up with shit. I don't know. It's an easier ball to keep rolling than it is to get started, you know?
That's fair.
Keeping up.
Gorillaz are coming to Detroit this year, and I looked at tickets and they're very expensive, so I will not be going to see the Gorillaz.
I haven't even listened to Sound Machine yet, and the Gorillaz are like legitimately like my favorite music group. But then again, they're my favorite music group because of Demon Days, and they haven't really quite done a Demon Days in a while. But I mean, I thought the Now Now was pretty good, or the New I think it's called. It wasn't like great, but I think Anthony Fantino described the New the best, which is like it's got like very 80s beach house sort of vibes, you know, but like it's like you're just spending a day at the beach but you're too sad to enjoy it, and that's kind of the vibe of the album, which I thought really fits the vibe of that album actually.
That's funny, I've never heard that, but I like that.
Have you listened to like what's the last, like have you listened to like the New or whatever that Gorillaz album is, the one that's like before Sound Machine but after Humans?
I think so. I think so.
That one. It's got that like one with the music video with Jack Black in it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I think that one's called Charity.
Yes, I have listened to it, but I have not listened to it extensively. I don't really remember much of it.
Not
I
like,
haven't like none of the songs from it have I like listened to recently.
Yeah, it's not like a song. It's not like an album full of hits, but I really actually like. I like that album a lot because I like the sound it's going for. It is going for that 80s synth beach house vibe, which I really dig. I like the tempo, like it's all very down tempo, which I like down tempo music anyways in general. But also like the songs in it, none of them are offensively bad or anything like that, but they're all pretty fun and listenable to, in my opinion. Some are better than others, but like it's not like a album where you listen to it and you're like, damn, these are some of the best songs I've ever heard. But if you're looking for like a vibes album, the New by the Gorillaz is a great vibes album.
I should listen to it again.
Yeah, my favorite song on it is Kansas. It's just got like this really great groove and some good lyrics to it, and it's got like all these instrumental, like he's like the New is great. Is a good Gorillaz album. It's not like a great Gorillaz album, but it's a good one because Demon Days, like, oh, first off, you know, the very first Gorillaz album, very punk rock meets rap, some electronic stuff in there, but like
just self-titled, right?
Yeah, self-titled, very punk rock and rap, but like mostly rap with the like punk elements in there because, you know, of you know, Damon Albarn's connection to Jesus Christ, what is the name of Damon Albarn's other? I'm blanking on it now. Do you know Damon Albarn's other band name?
No.
It's like one word. I think it starts with a C.
While you're trying to think of that, Bell Bell Rocket says, Now was good summer music. My favorite was Plastic Beach, to be honest. Plastic Beach is great.
Plastic Beach is a fantastic
and then Bell Bell Rocket
album.
says, Humility is the song you're thinking of.
Yes, Humility. It's a fantastic. Blur is Damon Albarn's other band.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, you know, Blur, Gorillaz kind of has a lot of like Blur-ish elements, but like more of the hip hop and like some of the electronic stuff in there. But it's still it's kind of all over the map, that first album. But then like Demon Days was when they're really leaning into rap with like synths, heavy synths, samples, things like that. And then like Plastic Beach is just them like just nailing that synth sound though. Like both Demon Days and Plastic Beach are kind of perfect 10 albums in my opinion. Yeah. They're both so fucking good. And then Humans, huge letdown in my opinion. It's like 40 songs long and like 3 of them I thought were any good.
Yeah, just the fact I don't remember much of it.
Yeah.
Says a little bit about it.
It was also like, it was an album that was like, it didn't feel like a Gorillaz album, which I think a lot of people have said, but like, it was an album of mostly features. Like, the music was there, but then like, it would be like, millions of other artists are on the tracks, and like, Damon Albarn wasn't doing like, much on it. So it didn't feel too Gorillaz-y, it just felt more like, the B-sides, like where they like all these unreleased tracks of like collabs they had done with other artists and things like that, and I didn't like a lot of the songs. Kind of a letdown of an album. Too many songs. They should have like trimmed like 15 of the bad songs and like made the other songs better.
Put more work into making a few really good songs instead of a bunch of mediocre songs.
And like I'm one to talk because I'm like every episode we end I'm like, hey, check out my 53 song album coming out on Spotify June 21st.
Nah, it's not the same. I wouldn't say.
Yeah,
it's not like you made this whole work like as a unit in the thought of releasing it as a unit, you know.
That's
more
true.
Like a compilation.
It is, yeah. It's a best of, if anything. But yeah, so and then the new now. Yeah, good summer music, just good vibes, very chill. And like I said, like one or two songs that in my opinion I really, really like, but they're not anything I would tell somebody like, dude, you gotta hear the song Canvas from the Now. It's a great song. Like, no, it's just a song I really like. I think it sounds great. I'm not like, it's not a song I'm gonna tell anybody they have to hear Kansas, but it's my favorite song on the album. And it's a good vibes album. I don't know. Last time I listened to it was the last time I got my hair cut.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember the last time I got my hair cut because it was Halloween of 2019. And I remember I had to ride.
My year.
That's right. I was riding to my barbershop, but like trick-or-treating had already started. So I got to ride through the city of Philadelphia and just see like everyone's costumes. It was kind of dope. And then I got my hair cut.
Fun.
At one point I rode across like two cars had like crashed. Not like serious, but like they were clearly like having to deal with that. And so there was a woman dressed up as Harley Quinn and she was using her 2 baseball bats to direct traffic. Which I was like, first of all, that is not what Harley Quinn would do, but also bless you, citizen, for taking the initiative to like try and keep this scene safe while like, you know, the appropriate people are on the way.
I was in San Diego for that same Halloween, and it was very fun being like somewhere that's like very busy, a lot of people. It was cool. It was a good time. Really cool costumes and stuff.
Yeah, it's cool to be in, like, when you do Halloween and like travel for it, it always ends up, or not even, that wasn't me traveling for Halloween, but traveling for Halloween does always produce fun to look at, because I'd done a Halloween party at Austin's place, like he was having a party on his rooftop in New York City, and this was like 2 days before Hurricane Sandy hit. Like we went and got supplies for Hurricane Sandy like hours before the party. But you know, then I went back home, which meant going through Penn Station, which is like the main train station of New York, on Halloween. And so I just got to see like so many costumes. And do you know how many Jokers I saw? Because this was like in 2015 or 2014. Like, when did Hurricane Sandy happen? Like 2012? Like Nolan's Batman was like 5 years old at this point, but like there are so many Jokers.
There's always a lot. There still are a few stragglers joking about. My favorite costume I saw in San Diego was, and I love this idea, I want to adopt this sometime, not necessarily the same way, but you'll when I explain it, you'll see how you could do it your own way. But there was a group of like 10 people walking down the street, some guys, some girls, but they were all different Will Ferrell characters. So there was like there was like an elf, there was like, you know, just, you can imagine.
That's fantastic. Like, that's a fun costume.
And that was great. And I'm like,
group costumes that are like clever.
Let's all be Tom Hanks, you know, but different versions.
Group costumes that are like actually clever and aren't like the standard couples costumes you find, you know? Those are a lot of fun.
Right. I always try to keep them clever. I have a lot of fun with Halloween.
I'm trying to think about the last time I went to a Halloween party. I think I just went as Harry Potter if he was a French stereotype. So I had like a clove cigarette and I like wore a scarf and I went, oui, Hagrid. I'm Harry Potter. I was in my parents, or my aunt and uncle, and Hagrid, he comes in, he says, Harry, you are a wizard. I'm like, Hagrid. No. My parents, they were killed by Lord Voldemort. Or as you say, he who must not be named. He who has no je m'appelle.
The fact that you're laughing at your own impression, it shows me why you chose that as a costume.
Yeah, I was having a good time with it. And I found a dustbuster that I rode like a broom for like a part of the party once I got more drunk. I had a good time.
I like it.
I had a wand. It was a stick I burnt with a lighter.
You should. I mean, that seems pretty accurate.
Dubious French accent. Yeah, no, it's not a good French accent.
I'm sure J.K. Rowling will reveal that Harry Potter was French the whole time.
Yeah. My parents, they died protecting me from Lord Voldemort, which to me it's like we all die. Tragic, but we all die, so you know, what's the difference? If I had died as a baby, would I be spared the guilt and the horror of my parents' absence?
Did you have a beret?
No, I didn't. I couldn't find one in short notice.
Did you draw a lightning bolt on your head or some kind of French variation of that?
I tried to think of how I could hipsterify that, but no, I just went with a lightning bolt in my forehead. I think I drew it more realistically though, like I kind of gave it like a couple of crackles maybe. I think there is actually a picture of me dressed up in that costume on Facebook. I think somebody tagged me on Facebook with that costume.
It seems like a fun costume. I like taking a character and making your own version of it. One year we did... I was like really busy one year. I think it was the year I graduated and Halloween was coming up and I just didn't have time to come up with the costume. My one buddy who wanted to go out was like, all right, I'll just bring, I have Mario and Luigi hats. So he just was like, I'll bring those and we'll just be Mario and Luigi. And I'm like, all right, whatever. And then like as that day was approaching, I'm like, this is so lazy. Everyone's Mario and Luigi. We're going to see 1,000 Mario and Luigis with the exact same hat, bought at the same store probably. So I came up with an idea at the last minute to turn them into like rough versions of Mario and Luigi. Like, yeah.
Those pictures are great, by the way.
Like, I had like a green polo shirt and he had like a red leather jacket and we had like all these tattoos
and Morgan's
all over
Peach,
her face
right?
and neck.
Because I remember
Morgan was Peach, but she had like a black leather jacket and like all these piercings all over her faces.
It's a great costume.
Den says posture check. And good night, friends. Good night, Leviathan Den. Thanks
for joining
us.
Leviathan Den. Thanks for the posture check and the hydrate.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And we had like fake cigarettes like behind our ears and stuff and like sunglasses and oh, and the best part was Morgan is good with makeup, so she like did these really realistic looking like bruises and gashes on, like we all looked like we had the shit beat out of, or like we just got in a fight. So like,
great.
Like I had a big black eye and like a cut on my head and stuff. It was fun.
Good stuff.
It was good. And then the fun part was we ended up seeing 1,000 Mario and Luigi's, like I said, but every time we passed them, we were just like giving them the dirtiest fucking look, like we were gonna fight them or something. It was fun.
That's good shit.
So yeah, it's fun to do your own variation on a character.
Halloween is in general is fun. I love it. I still want to do a crazy costume. Like the one year I wanted to do a costume where I wanted to first of all bulk up at a gym.
You wanted to do a what? You cut out a little bit.
I wanted to bulk up at a gym. I wanted to shave my head and get some crazy sunglasses and go as Bronson from the movie, or yeah, right. I guess it would be
Bronson from the movie Bronson.
Bronson from the movie Bronson, played by Venom.
I was just gonna say Venom because I can't think of his name.
Can't remember his name either. Tom Hardy. There we go. Yeah.
Tom Hardy. There he is.
Most kissable lips in Hollywood.
Mwah.
Mwah.
Do you know that for a fact?
No. But yeah, I wanted to go as him because I thought that'd be a crazy costume, and it's a cool look. But
that would be fun.
Yeah.
One year I did Hunter S. Thompson, and I shaved my beard off and cut my hair pretty short. I didn't give myself like bald head because I had the hat, and I'm like, I have to work tomorrow, so
nice.
You know, but it came out pretty good. But no, I love Halloween because I think not everybody, a lot of people are pretty, you know, in touch with themselves, with who they are, and you know, they're confident in the things they like and enjoy. But I do think when it comes to like creativity, there's a lot of people that feel like like I don't know, they just feel uncomfortable getting creative. But then when Halloween rolls around, it's such a like universal thing that people who would normally not do that stuff do. By the way, I just saw we are labeled under Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands on Twitch.
Oh my gosh. Another text banana. Gosh, I got everything but that one. Oh, we fixed that.
Perfect.
Anyways, yeah, I love when people who normally aren't creative show their creative side, because I feel like I see the most creative shit from people who just never show that. Like, when the costumes that you see from like somebody who's like, oh yeah, I stock shelves at a Radio Shack. Fuck, man.
Right. That's like a release, I think. I mean, I feel like everybody has to be creative in some way.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Some people don't flex that muscle so often, so it's nice to see people try.
Yeah. I encourage it, and I love seeing it. You love to see it. Yeah. Next on the real quick. Hey, Brandon, do you want to take a quick break?
Sure.
I know we're like 30 minutes. We have like 30 minutes out from the end of the show, but take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Take like a quick 3-minute break.
Yeah, I just gotta refill my water.
Cool. Sounds good.
Herb. And we are back.
Feels good to be back.
Feels great to be back. It feels like we're back home.
This is my home.
Oh, wow.
I live here. In this little square.
Just that frame right there. Once you walk outside of it, you're no longer in your home.
I don't exist if I step out of it.
You're like Zod in that one Superman movie where they put him in the
He's just
the
like
Phantom
a piece
realm?
of paper that's like spinning.
Yeah. Ah!
I want to animate that. What are you nibbling on over there? Is that some string cheese?
Yeah, I got a string cheese.
String is my favorite flavor of cheese.
It's the best kind of cheese. I don't know why they don't make this in France.
Mozzarella?
That's in Italy, dumbass.
I mean, string cheese is mozzarella. I don't know if they make
I know. I'm fucking wrong. Is all string cheese mozzarella? I've seen some yellow sticks. I assume those are cheddar.
They make other flavors, but I would say the white one is usually
mozzarella. Well, mozzarella is the best cheese, probably. I don't know. I love mozzarella, so it's good. It makes sense.
I like different cheeses for different moods.
Yeah, you
different
can't
purposes.
Me too, and I like to eat my cheese sparingly because of the whole lactose intolerance thing. But
right. You should buy that Lactaid shit. Give it a try.
I should. I really should.
It works good. Some people really swear by it.
I started to get ads for it. I legitimately have.
There you go. Like, they must have heard me mention it.
I think they did. I do. Like, I watched a movie with some folks. Have you ever seen Behind the Mask, by the way?
I don't think so.
It's interesting. It's kind of like it's very Cabin in the Woods vibes, but it's a documentary crew, and they're following like a serial killer, kind of like Mike Myers or Jason or somebody like them. They're just kind of like Michael Myers, Michael Halloween.
I didn't know he murdered anyone.
Oh yeah, he made that show, The Pentaveret, about it.
That's right.
But he so like there's this new documentary crew, and they're just following the serial killer guy while he sort of preps to murder like a group of kids, like a group of college kids or whatever. And in it, it's sort of like playing with all the tropes of like horror movie, like slasher movies. Like they're like showing him setting up the house to do the murders, and he's kind of going through his whole plan. And like all the dumb shit the kids do, or like things that break. Like he's like, yeah, and then I turn off the cell phone tower so that when the kids try and call for help, they can't get any. The doors here, I'm gonna lock the doors, and then they're gonna go up. They're gonna climb to the highest point where they have no choice to escape. And it's just it's taking like the horror movies.
That sounds
and like,
fun. Is it a comedy?
It's a comedy, yeah. Yeah, it's very Cabin in the Woods vibes.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I recommend it. It turns out it's like kind of like a cult classic that not a lot of people know about, but it's very good.
What's the excuse for there being a crew following him? Is there any, or are they just?
He just agrees.
Is it kind of like? It's kind of like What We Do in the Shadows, where it's just
it's
like
kind of like What We Do in the Shadows, because like he even meets up with like Freddy Krueger and like Jason, but like they're not in their like they don't look like them because they're wearing masks. Like they kind of set it up where like you take training to seem like you're a like supernatural killer or something like that.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know that much more about it, just because this sounds really fun, and I don't want to get spoiled.
I won't spoil the rest, but yeah, it's very fun, and
sounds up my alley.
Yeah, no, I've seen the mask.
Shit.
I've seen the main killer's mask before, which is interesting.
Smoking. I've also seen the mask.
I've seen the mask, yeah, but the main killer's like mask. I've seen it before. I just never knew it was attached to that movie, but I recommend it.
I've seen the cover of the like. I'm looking at it, and I've seen the like the art that would be on the DVD or whatever, or the poster. But I
highly recommended.
Just looks like another horror movie, which is a good thing.
No, I've never heard of it. I've seen of it, but I've never heard of it. But very surprised and very enjoyable. I highly recommend.
I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah. Speaking of watching things, Brandon.
Yes.
We haven't done Critter Cam for a while, but we should tell folks.
It's true, we have not checked in on the animals.
So with the money that people have so generously donated to DrawBomb, Leviathan Den's working towards it with, trying to get to 25 subscribers. That's going to help us get more money and we really like to give back to the community. We like to help out. We like to
love to give back.
And we're environmentalists. I made a kid apologize to a tree. I care about the environment.
Exactly.
And we figured a great way to spend our money would be to take animals, just give them a place to live, give them a place to roam free, and make sure they're taken care of. So, also, so that you can sort of get to enjoy your work. It's really you that have made this possible. So in order really for you to enjoy it, we have set up cameras so that you can watch and enjoy. Critter Cam is what we're calling it. And let's go over that now.
I forgot about Critter Camp. It's not camp. It's not
Cam, but they go. It is kind of a critter camp, though. Like that's kind of.
It is kind of, but it's their home now.
Camp DrawBomb. Yeah, but let's go to Critter Cam. Hey.
Oh hey, how's it going?
All right. I'm here.
You're new here, right? I don't remember seeing you around this little 5x5 square that we are trapped in.
I was minding my own business in the jungle. I got captured. I was on a plane, and now I'm here. It's not great.
What was that? Was that last part?
I don't know. I'm not a big fan.
Oh, okay. I just a legal team. My ears were ringing for some reason. I don't know what it was. Anyways, well, I didn't ask for your whole life story, but I similar situation for all of us here. I feel like we all kind of got rounded up, put here. But I've never seen an animal quite like you. You're very colorful. I like your stripes.
Thank you. I didn't used to have them, and then I thought, well, now better now than ever. So I went to the local tattoo shop, got them put on.
Oh wow! So you're big into body modification, are you?
Oh, we all are. Yep. If you ever see a tiger, 'cause they got stripes, well, it's because we all go to the same guy. We're kind of like the Yakuza.
Oh wow. That's really interesting. Did you get one of your fingers cut off?
Nope, just the back tattoo.
Oh, okay. Well,
although a lot of us do get shot.
A better crew to be. Oh no, is that part of initiation as well?
I don't know. It just happens.
You have a very kind of like Barack Obama cadence to you.
Well.
Just an observation, not a criticism.
Who is that?
He's some guy. I don't know. I think I've seen him on Jimmy Kimmel Live or something like that.
Not sure so why. He's an actor.
Yeah,
you're saying I got that sort of Hollywood charisma.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, I like it. That's probably why they put me here.
That's maybe. I mean, does that mean that we all have that? Because that's flattering.
I don't know. Would you say you have charisma?
Well, yeah, I feel like I am like overflowing with charisma, to be honest. I was, captain of the knitting club in high school.
You're right. You're a natural born leader.
Yeah, it is pretty great. I don't know why you say it like that, but yeah, I agree. I agree. Real quick, looking over at the monitor that the farmer's holding up.
Yeah, does he do that often?
He just stands there for hours on end. I don't see him eat. I don't see him sleep. It's kind of eerie.
Looks like his arms are getting tired.
I have to imagine they are. It's. I don't know why the monitor's so big.
It's not one of them flat screens you normally see either. It's one of the big ones that have the whole
tube.
body.
It's like the old tube TVs. Yeah.
Is that what they? Wow, that's impressive. That you know what they put in the old TVs.
Well, he's been there. I've been in this fence for a while now, and he's been holding that thing. So I have some time to. There was a How's This Made episode that was airing on the monitor for a while about tube TVs. I learned a lot. Show's very informative.
The music in those is always so fun. It's
so
great.
Fun. yeah. I guess it is pretty great. You're very positive. I like that about you.
Thanks.
Van Pleb.
I'm on my meds.
I see on the monitor. What was that?
I'm on my meds.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. That's great.
So a healthcare professional. They prescribed him. Yep.
That's good. That's the way to do it. Van Pleb says, "Wait, I missed it. That sheep has stripes." I think they are mistaking you. Well, no, I mean, if I shaved off my wool, yes, I have extensive stripes. It's a interesting, birth defect, or well, it doesn't really make my life any more difficult, but it's
I was gonna say,
that's for sure.
You can't even
I
tell.
like to call them my racing stripes, but I'm not very quick, so it doesn't really track.
It'd be kind of funny if you didn't like the stripes, if you felt very ashamed of them, I mean, it sounds bad right now, but like, hear me out. You remember that movie in X-Men where they had Beast, and Beast was like, "Oh, my feet. Look at my feet, they're so big, I'm a monster, and people never accept me," but then, like, it's fine, he still works with a group of scientists, and they seem to accept him just fine, even though his weird feet.
Oh yeah, wasn't Beast played by Frazier?
Oh shit, yeah, that's right, he was. Who played Niles?
I think Gambit.
What's it? Oh, Niles was Gambit? I was gonna say
Gambit
Quicksilver.
Was Niles.
I say the Beast. Or no, I say the Gambit.
Well,
the chair that Xavier is always sitting in is doesn't fit with the room. It doesn't fit with my decor. Oh yes, Beast Boy. Wow.
Why is that his choice of
He
chair?
needs it to walk.
It's well, sure. I'm not saying why does he choose to sit in a chair. I'm asking why the one he chose, when there's several models, is the giant, like, one that looks like a lounge chair with like a cover on it.
Because I mean, might as well get comfy.
I suppose you're right.
If a Superman breaks your back and leaves you paralyzed from the waist down, get the best chair.
I guess that's a fair argument.
Oh, hear me out.
So
a parody,
okay,
a parody where Frazier is Beast Boy, Niles is Gambit, and then fuck, I remember his name whenever we're not on the stream.
Give me some descriptors. I might be able to help you with this. Dad?
Dad Crane.
I don't know the X-Men's dad. Marty Crane?
Martin Crane, yes. Martin Crane is Professor Xavier because he's always in the seat. It works.
That actually is something I want to draw.
Yeah, me too.
His chair has to be floating. If I was able to draw, but you know these damn hooves, you know.
Maybe we could get the farmer to hook us up with a tablet.
That'd be great.
That'd be great.
That would be really great. So what does a creature like you eat?
Oh, well, you know, just the usual diet of thing like animals, people.
Animals and people, eh? Whew. I just caught myself making eye contact with the farmer over there. We're both sweating a little. You're not.
Is it hot out here?
You're not.
I can't tell. I'm actually normally used to a very tropical climate.
You know, are we able to make some kind of pact or something? Because I would love to not be eaten. You know what? Oh my God! Something just. There's sorry. There's an animal behind me, walking around. They're all over the place. It just startled me. But can I make a pact with you or something?
Fucking up.
Can I make a pact with you or something? Because I would love to not be eaten, and I feel like, you know, once you get hungry, you're gonna start seeing me like a giant pork chop. I've seen, you know, like in those shows, those cartoons and stuff, and I would prefer not to be eaten.
Oh, don't worry. I'm fed a nice big steak every morning. Apparently, some gentleman named Leviathan done keeps financing steaks. I don't know.
Oh, thank God. I hope these people keep donating and subscribing.
Yeah, those steaks, they taste, they're pretty good.
Oh, nice. They sound good.
I like
them.
Sound
great.
They're not cooked at all. It's the perfect temperature.
Oh, extra rare?
Yeah.
Delicious. By the way, if you do, you know, if you do get hungry or, you know, the farmer gets a little lax on the steaks, take one of these little guys. I mean, I'm going to say it quiet. I don't want them to hear me. I don't want any bad blood between us. But this little rabbit or the Peter or I forget the squirrel's name.
My shit, everybody, I don't remember. Nigel?
You know, maybe, you know, think about them first. They're about steak sized.
I mean, no, they're not, but I don't think you have anything to worry about. I've been told that if I eat any of you here, I will be shot on sight, and I'm not a fan of that.
Oh my God. I haven't been given any warnings that involve me being shot. I should really reread the contract that I signed when I was put in here.
It felt a little aggressive. I mean, I was like, hey, I thought it even crossed my mind. Why'd you bring it up? You know? Just seemed sort of aggressive.
This whole farm situation does not. It feels more like a prison to me than anything else.
The patrolling armed guards really don't put me at ease. I don't understand that.
It's true. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. And then the whole delousing process when we first got here, unpleasant, very unpleasant.
What's that?
Well, that's when they you know, sprayed us with a hose, checked our butt for drugs, and then threw delousing powder all over us. They didn't do that to you?
Oh, that's how they found my butt drugs.
Yeah, they're very, you know, I thought they'd be safe there, but I guess not.
I was asleep. I nap like 22 hours out of the day.
You know, I like your style. I try to get a little shut-eye myself, but, you know, I'm more around the 18 to 19 range, you know. I just, internal alarm.
Oh, yeah, I feel you. I mean, my alarm's very internal. I'm actually not even supposed to be awake right now. Normally, the sun is not in the sky. I'm a very nocturnal creature. But, you know, jet lag.
That'll do it. That'll do it. But, you know. Anyways, it's been a delight to meet you. You're very polite. I was a little nervous when I saw you at first. You know, your teeth and your claws, they're very intimidating, but, you know, you're a real gentleman.
I feel like the new kid in the cafeteria. I didn't know which table to sit at, but you came right up and you started talking to me, and I appreciate it.
You know, I just try to make friends with the guy that could kill us all at any given moment.
I promise you, even though I am an apex predator, I will not kill you. I have no desire. Honestly, this has been great. I've always felt kind of bad about it, so the steak system actually works out great for me.
That's some real restraint, although I don't know who is getting turned into steaks. That is another question for another day.
I assumed it was Impossible meat. Like,
yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it's Beyond Meat or Impossible Meat or something like that.
Bill Gates is feeding me.
Is there a lab in that barn where they create
maybe
meatless meat?
I actually don't want to know what's in that barn. It kind of it gives me bad vibes.
It is ominous, and the screams that come from it every night really got me scratching my head.
Yeah, I don't know what this operation is here, but I don't know. It's strange. I mean, we're all kidnapped, but we're not like under any. I mean, I'm the only one who's actually been threatened, but I mean, you haven't, as far as you know. But we're here.
I was scooped up from a beautiful Windows XP like meadow.
Oh, is that how that works? Okay.
Yeah, that's canon. I mentioned that before.
That's true. You did. I remember that now. Not me personally. Okay, I've watched the stream a couple times.
You probably watched the VODs, huh?
I've watched the VODs, yeah.
Okay, well that's good. Thanks for supporting the.
For the 2 hours I was awake on the plane ride, they were like, "Hey, I don't know, here." Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Any snacks on the plane?
No, but I did eat somebody. I ate the guard.
Oh god. Oh god.
Last one.
All right. Yeah, you gotta get it out of your system somehow.
He was a prick.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Totally deserved it.
Well, that sounds like justice to me.
Yes, indeed. It was pretty good.
It was pretty good. just
hey! Come back. I feel like that was that started to run its course. Also, I got a call from legal. They were having a problem with the tiger.
He was only allowed to say it's great a number of like 10 times, and that was the 9th, so we had to cut it, or else we were going to be sued into the ground. Yeah. But wow, it looks like they're doing great. That's cool that we're getting some nice exotic creatures.
Yeah, I'm glad the animals are doing well. We're giving them a good place to live.
Yeah, just putting the tiger in a cage with a sheep and a rabbit
and a squirrel.
And a squirrel. Yeah, it reminds me of like being when we were kids, we had a fish tank and we just bought some fish for it, and it turned out one of them liked to eat other fish, unfortunately.
Oh.
It's a tragic ending to that one.
That's unfortunate.
A learning experience for everyone except for the fish that got eaten.
Yeah. Well, they learned, but then they didn't get to apply those lessons in the future.
That's true.
Areas.
Yeah, not my proudest moment, but I was a child, so.
Well, Brandon, do you have anything that you would like to plug?
I do not. Except for a show that I do every Monday called DrawBomb. Check it out.
Put the fake out.
On Mondays at 8 Eastern time.
Mondays is the time.
It's great. If you enjoy what you're watching right now, you'll probably enjoy that show as well, because
I hope so.
This show.
It's this. This is the same thing.
Yeah, that's true. If you don't, then that means that we are getting worse every episode.
Yeah. If you didn't like this, try out Drawfee or Drawslaw. They both stream around the same time as us. They might still be going. I don't even know, man.
Yeah.
They're the same show, but two different people that you get to watch instead of us. I don't know if that's better or worse. It's probably better.
I mean, yeah, who knows? I'll have to watch some of their shows and steal some ideas.
I think Drawfee is college humor. Like, they have actual funding. It was,
yeah, but I think college humor doesn't exist anymore, right?
No, I think they still do. I think I see.
They did something where a lot of people got like fired or something.
Yeah.
Or got like let go. I'm not sure if they're still connected. They might. I think they got let go unless they got brought back or something.
I don't know. I think Drawfee did get let go by but I'm not.
But they have enough of a following that they're able to be their own thing, which is probably better anyways. You know, they probably get more like lose some funding, sure, but they have more creative freedom and stuff, which is cool.
Yeah, good for them. Good for them. I haven't seen any of this stuff, but they're good.
Yeah, I've seen a few things. It seems pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against those shows at all. I'm just but anyways, gosh. I have that album coming out June 21st. I already talked about it a little bit, but it's still coming out June 21st. I did apply to get some of the a song put on playlists in Spotify. I don't know if I get to ask again in the future for more songs, or I don't know how that shit works.
That's interesting. I didn't know it worked that way.
Yeah, it's like, because I didn't have an artist profile when I put the first album up, so I couldn't apply for playlists. But I applied for a playlist for this one, but it's just letting me ask for the one song, so I don't know if that translates to the whole. I don't know how it works. I don't.
How do you apply for a playlist? You send like a resume to like Spotify and be like, I'm really hoping to get a job at Chill Jams to drive home to.
Can I get lo-fi beats to chill and relax to, please? And they're like, that's not us. That's the wrong. That's a YouTube channel.
You think you're getting a job at Chill Vibes to chill and relax to? No, I'm sorry.
No. You're study music.
You're getting rainy day with a book music. Okay?
Nice. Yeah, but I mean, you basically once they recognize that you're submitting an album, you just ask like, hey, here's a song. Here's what it is. Here's what it's like. I don't know. Here's a description of me in the song, and then they say okay. And that's all I've gotten so far. So I don't know if it goes further than that. Ooh. But 53 songs coming out June 21st. It's a bunch of beats. It's mostly beats, so it's like electronica and hip hop and shit like that.
If you like the music during the show, you'll like that because some of it is that.
Yeah, just I've remastered it so that it fits the Lufs scale.
And finally, because my ears are just being abused by this non-Luf scale music.
I was playing people like -10 Luf scale music when really apparently -14 is where it's at.
Don't even talk about -10 Luf scale. You'll make me sick. One thing to plug.
Ears hurt thinking about it.
If you are a fan of us just talking about nonsense and hanging out, we have been playing some more games live lately. Make sure you got that alert set up that get a text or a text alert.
Make sure
on your phone.
you hit the bell.
Yeah, and then you can see you'll know when we're live because it's kind of random. But we've been playing some games lately, and I've been playing some VR stuff, and we're gonna start playing some stuff together as well.
Yeah.
Belbo Rocket says, "I hate the DrawBomb song." What? How can you hate the DrawBomb song? She probably hates it because it means the show's ending and makes her sad.
Makes her so sad that it's over.
The show any longer. Yeah, I get that. I guess that makes sense. But other than that, it's a gift to the ears.
The whole haunting dulcet tones of me recording over myself 5 times.
It's beautiful. Well, on that note.
On the note of hating DrawBomb.
There's a lot of that lately.
There is.
People telling us they're watching the show not for the art.
No one likes Drawfee and Drawslaw are happening at the same time, and they also have the word draw and then 4 to 3 letters in the name after it. Jesus.
I know. It's a little too on the nose, if you ask me.
Fuck, man. Anyways, D&D happening soon, right? We're gonna make that happen soon?
Yes. We're putting the final touches on figuring out how to do D&D live with some puppets, and it'll be very fun, I think. Yeah. FanPleb says, any video gaming tonight? What am I to watch now?
I mean, we could stream
Possible.
Star Citizen.
Are you going to be playing Star Citizen?
Yeah. We were talking about that.
Gotcha. Yeah, I may join that if... I'm not sure if... The game runs pretty terrible when I'm not streaming, so I'm not sure. Granted, I don't think it's because of the load on the computer. I just think it's, like, unoptimized. But,
yeah. It's been running pretty decent for me lately. I don't know if you might have better luck now.
Perhaps I'll give it a try. If I join you guys. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to put myself through Star Citizen. But I might.
Don't blame you. It'd be fun to stream it, because then people could comment on it and talk about... They could see what we've been talking about.
Star Citizen doing his star taxes.
That's right. Star taxes, star death, and star...
Star Society!
Star Society! We live in a Star Society, Joker! Okay, bye everybody!
Bye.
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 Bye.